Hello everyone. Today's topic is about the shared preferences in Android. What is shared preference in Android? We are going to learn about the shared preferences in Android. Moving to the next slide. What is the introduction for the today's topic? Is like this slide. We are going to introduce the shared preferences and shared preferences in Android and explain why it is important for the Android app to store a small amount of data. It set a stage for the rest of the presentation by giving the overview what will be we will cover in this video. So, like what is shared preferences? Shared preferences it provide a basic understanding of the key value pair and explain the where the shared preferences data is stored on the devices. So shared preferences are basically is the memory unit, and if you're moving to our Coder's blog, so you can see it here like understanding the shared preferences in Android, a complete guide for the developers. So shared preferences is a key feature of the Android operating system that allow a developer to retrieve the small amount of data in the key and the value pair. So the data will be stored in the memory is like in the key and the value pair. So if we enter the key, we can get the value from the local memory. So moving to the next topic, like what is the introduction? Mobile application is a very integral part of our daily lives, and the Android operating system has emerged the most widely used platform in the mobile app development. So this is the introduction part, and here we can use what is the prerequisite for using the shared preference. So moving to the slide, like how can we create the shared preference? Share preference we need to call this method called as get share preference method of the context class, and it is also explain the purpose of the name and the mode of the parameters and why they are important. Like we can see it in the our blog. Like so first of all we need to these things installed in our Android operating system and in the Android Studio. So what is the modes? Like we can store the share preference this in the there are in the four different modes. First is mode private and mode word readable, mode word writable, mode multiprocess. So you can get this link in the blog as well in the video for reading and understanding all the topics. So first of all, we need to create the class of the my share preference with the using context, and the here is the private value share preference. Like you can give the store the value like key and value. So here you are entering the data, like load the data in the form of key and the null. So here we can pass the data and it will be in the mode private. We can save the data and load the data, clear the data and remove the data. There are the various type of functionality we can provide in the my share preference class. Okay, and after that we just need to use the share preference class in the main activity. So in main activity we can go and create an object of the my share preference and initialize it, and after the initialization we just need to create the save the data like name is equal to John, and in this you can just the key is the name and the value is the John. So moving to the slide, like we are just creating by using the get cr preference method in the Kotlin. So moving to the next part, and we also learned like how to store the data in the shared preference by using the boolean and the float and the method to store and the various method to store the different type of data. So we can move to the next slide. How we can retrieve the data, like retrieve the data from the code. We can go there and we can get the println method. So we can load the data by name of the value name and the load the data. So in the load data method you can get here, this is the function share preference dot get string. We can pass the key value and we can get the value and it is returned it here. If the key is not provided by the operating system, then we can also return with the null value. So uh, here we are using the load data, and in name we get the variable and we can just print the name in the println method. or we can just show it in the Android application by using the toast or any of the dialog box. So moving to the next part, like how we can retrieve the data. Like here are the example we are going to show in the, like you can see the example how you can get the data from the shared preference and all the memory parts in the XML. We can store the data in the XML and just found via using the key and the value pair. So after that, what's the conclusion about this the presentation? Like a shared preference is a simple and the efficient way to the store the and retrieve the small amount of data. As we can learn earlier, shared preference is very simple and efficient way for retrieving the small amount of data and store the small amount of, like we have to just store the token, or we have to just store the name, just store the email ID or password or any of the little bit amount of data. So we can store it by using the shared preference. And second point is it is particularly useful for storing the user preferences in the application setting. So it is when we create a setting page in the Android application, we have different particularly used for this method also. By using the shared preference, we can easily save and retrieve the data without having the worry about the complex storage mechanism. So we can use the different amount of data by using the shared preference. We don't need to worry about the what the storage, what the memory leak, or any of the problem. We can sort out by using the shared preference method. So I hope you can learn a lot of things in this video. So you can try your shared preference memory management system via using the Android Studio or any other project in your local project. So here you can find out the whole code. If you are a student or you're trying to build an Android project, also you can also contact us for the help and the any other type of the project related query. So thank you and have a nice day.